We're gonna make a dirt hole set for canines, coyotes and foxes. Basically, it mimics the habit foxes have of burying uneaten prey items. They can kill a bunch of mice. When they get full, they'll bury some of them and come back later. Just about everything that eats mice is going to be interested in checking this type of a set out, because they've done it enough times that they know there's a good chance there's a little tidbit of food in this location where a fox might have been. Some people like a big hole, about that big around. Some people like a mouse-sized hole, about that big around. Some people like a ground squirrel hole, about that big around. I don't think it really matters if the rest of your set is in good working order. As with a lot of things in trapping, it's a matter of personal preference. Whatever works for you is what you should stick with. I'm gonna dig our trap bed here. Again, just as with the dirt hole, the distance from the entrance to the dirt hole that I just dug is often a matter of personal preference. Some people like to crowd the dirt hole just a few inches in front of it. Some people like to drop back so that the pan for a coyote would be about 12 inches away from the dirt hole. For a fox would be about 6 inches. When I'm done, I want my trap to be level or slightly below the surrounding surface. I like to leave a little bit of loose dirt in the bottom so that when I bed my trap, I have something to seed it. And give it a try. Looking pretty good in terms of depth. Go ahead and drive my stake. Again, matter of personal preference. Some people like to drive the stake in the back of the trap bed. Some people like to drive it in the front of the trap bed so that when the trap is set, the loose jaw sits on top of the stake. And just another trick to help keep your trap stable. Seems like a lot of stake, but a coyote is a powerful animal. Last thing you want to do is having him running out in the country with your trap on his foot and your name on the trap. You have to have your traps tagged with your name and address in Illinois. A little bit of trouble here with getting it bedded. We can adjust for that in the final stages, but I like to start with things in good working order. For trap cover, I just use a piece of wax paper. Some people like to use a piece of window screen, a little plastic window screening. Other people like to use other materials. Or underalls, which is a piece of foam that goes underneath the pan and keeps dirt from getting underneath the pan and clogging the action. What I did is I tore out a little piece of wax paper that was going to sit over the dog. I could clear it off all except for where my pan is at. Pack some dirt on there. When I'm finished, the only thing I want to move is the pan. Kind of blend things in a little bit here. This particular set, you want it to look like an animal dug that hole, so it's okay to have some loose dirt out in front. Don't worry about that. About 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch covering with larger traps. You can bury them a little bit deeper because they have a larger jaw that'll reach through the dirt. I think I sometimes get carried away. If I want an animal to step someplace, or better yet, not step someplace, all I need is a little chunk of dirt like that. Leave it sitting there. In this case, I see the animal coming in this clear area or this clear area to investigate, so I'm pretty good. In terms of my trap location, I always carry 2 pairs of gloves. One is a clean pair that I use for handling my traps. The other is what I call my dirty pair, and that's for handling bait, lure, anything that might get on my hands and make me contaminate that trap. Coyotes have an excellent sense of smell, so do foxes. If you get some lure on your trap, they're going to try to dig it up. If you find a dug up trap, you can pretty well bet that one of 2 things happened. Either you got some lure on your trap somewhere along the line, or you didn't bed your trap properly, which caused it to rock and made the animal investigate by digging. Just going to use a little gob of lure, about like that. Put it down in the hole. Maybe a little bit more. And sometimes what I'll do is take a little bit of grass, wad it up, so he can't look in there and find out there's nothing to eat. He has to investigate. And he can't see past that grass, so he's going to want to stick around a little bit longer, long enough, hopefully, to get caught in my trap.